Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Maleki Stayton, and you're listening to the DucksFocus podcast, your source for Oregon recruiting, Oregon athletics, exclusive interviews, breaking news, and everything happening around the University of Oregon. Whether you're a lifelong Duck fan, a student in Eugene, or simply someone who loves college sports, DucksFocus is here to bring you closer to the athletics, coaches, recruits, and stories shaping Oregon athletics. We've got a great show lined up for you today, so sit back, relax, and let's get into it. This is DucksFocus.
Get ready, Ducks fans. You're about to dive into the DucksFocus podcast, your ultimate source for all things Oregon Duck sports. From game-changing victories to exclusive insider insight, we're bringing the action straight to you. It's time for expert analysis, behind-the-scenes access, and everything you need to stay in the know about your favorite team. And now, the man who's always in the know, the one, the only, Maleki Stayton.
All right, Duck fans, today I'm joined by a very special guest, and I just want to say we haven't made an episode in what's been about a year. Shout out to my brother, Aaron Flowers. That was our last guest on here. But we're trying to revamp it a little bit, and I wanted to really get back into recruiting because that was the foundation of DucksFocus. So today we're starting it off with somebody that I'm really excited to interview, and one of the first ones that I sent a DM to when we started reaching back out to players. I had my list, and I said, this is one that I want to get on because this kid is athletic, he's versatile, and overall, he's an outstanding athlete. So please give a warm welcome to a very special guest, the 6'7", 295-pound offensive tackle, Cameron Wagner. Thank you for joining me.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
It's a blessing to have you on. And I know you're in Hawaii right now. And even if we don't do a video of this, he is on the beach right now as we're currently talking. Very jealous.
100% right on the beach.
Yes, he's right on the beach, literally. How's the trip been so far? You have anything to share out to the Duck fans while you're in Hawaii?
I mean, we landed in Maui like 3 hours ago, literally. So we went to our little hotel and then literally came straight to the beach. So it's going good so far.
What's been your favorite part of Hawaii so far? Is there anything that you want to share out?
It's just beautiful. A lot different than Illinois for sure. Just like everywhere you look, it's just something new. It's super pretty. Like this way I see the mountains and this way I see a beach. Like obviously I don't get that in Illinois. And it's just really, really scenic out here.
It's also a lot further from Illinois, right? Than
Oh yeah. 10 hours of flights today.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, for DucksFocus fans and all Duck fans that may not know your story, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you kind of started playing football?
Yeah, so I've been playing football basically my entire life. I've been around it since my dad played at Indiana and my uncle played at Iowa, so it's been in the blood forever. And I think I started playing when I was in kindergarten, started playing full tackle football, and I was always offensive lineman even back then. I've just been a big dude ever since coming out the womb, and just been falling in love with the offensive line game ever since the day one.
Right. Well, and you kind of said it ran in the family for you. When was it kind of like, okay, this is something that I could take seriously. This is something I could pursue in college. Like when did you kind of have that realization that, oh, this is going to be something for you?
Yeah, I would say freshman year. I started, I think it was against Pontiac week 6 my freshman year. And then after that, I released my freshman year film. And I started getting like DMs from like smaller schools, emails and things like that. And I was like, if I actually lock in, I can do this. I actually ended up getting my first offer from Louisville April 1st after my freshman year.
Right. And how'd it feel to get that first offer and then just it continue on? How'd that feel for you?
It was crazy. It didn't feel real, honestly. Like I was shocked. Like I didn't know what to say because like that was like probably my second visit of all time. And I just didn't know what to say. And obviously I've done a lot better at communicating with coaching and things like that since that day, but super awesome, super thankful.
Right. So you're lagging out a little bit, and you just said like super thankful right at the end. That was your kind of last sentence there.
Yes, sir.
Right. Well, I wanted to ask you, there's a lot of times when you ask little kids, like, what position do you want to play when you get older in football? It's not always offensive line, but for you, you've stood out at offensive line. You've been a phenomenal tackle. For you, though, what's your favorite part about playing on the offensive line? And obviously you wouldn't trade that for anything, but what is it for you that you love about offensive line?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want to trade for any other position. I love offensive line. I love it every day. But I would say my favorite part is just imposing my will on other people. Like when I know I'm running lead right behind me at left tackle and this dude's not going to be able to do anything about it, and I'm going to drive him back 15 yards and put him in the dirt. That's just my favorite part, just straight up I'm just gonna overpower you, and you can't do anything about it.
Right, right. Well, you talked a little bit about some of the influences. You know, you said that your dad, right? And you kind of have come from a football lifelong family. For you, though, who's been some of your biggest influences? Has it been coaches, players alongside you, your father, you know, your mother? Who has it been for you?
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of people like type base was we were saying. Like my dad, obviously, has been a big influence with me because he played offensive line at Indiana in the early 2000s, and just learning basically all offensive line stuff all the way up to high school. He was my offensive line coach, so just basically everything I know I've learned from him. And then big influence was like those seniors my freshman year, just taking me in and like teaching me the ways, teaching me the plays, and how varsity football really is. And then also my brother coming along with me on this journey. He's been on basically all of my visits together. He's 13. And I think one day he'll get recruited for like a tight end DN type guy, but him just being along with me the whole time.
So what you're saying is like 5 years from now, when I'm actually old, I'll be interviewing your brother, right? And I'll be like, "Oh, I got to
Yeah,
interview your older brother," blah blah blah, right? Like, so I'm gonna get that moment.
absolutely,
All right.
absolutely.
Awesome. Well, looking at your high school career, what is a moment for you that has really stood out? Like that is like your go-to moment. You kind of get asked this question, probably. I'm sure you've been asked this before, but what is your standout moment where you're like, that's my high school moment so far? Because you still got another
Yeah,
season.
I would say one of my favorite high school moments is either like my first ever, like I remember like my first ever highlight play my freshman year. Like really, like I made highlight plays, but like my first ever like really good play was round two playoffs my freshman year against Roxana, and it was like a little tunnel screen, and I just absolutely murdered the dude. And that was one of my favorite ones. Like I remember like my first ever, like oh yeah, that was legit. And then this year, one of my favorite ones was I think we were down by like 7 in the playoffs this year, and it was like 3rd and 6, and it was out of a timeout, and our coach was like, "What do we want? What do we want here?" And I kind of let us be like, give us our input, and I was like lead left, like just showing that me and the guys can get it done. And he's like, "All right, lead left." So he went lead left, and this DN I was going against, they were talking trash all week, saying their best D line in the conference in the state and things like that. And I just killed this dude. Then he goes for a 65-yard up the gut run. It was awesome, and I was fired up.
Sweet. I bet that felt pretty good, huh?
100%.
100%. Well, obviously, it's clear that your hitting is one of your strengths, but what would you say are the biggest strengths in your game currently? Maybe what's, your biggest weakness? What are you kind of trying to improve in your senior season before you head over to Oregon?
Yeah, I would say one of my biggest strengths is definitely my mental game. Like I'm really good at understanding the fronts and coverages and things like that, and knowing like if it's too high safety and if he rotates down, like we're switching to play two line checks, things like that, which we're going to do a ton of at Oregon. But then also another attribute to me is like obviously I'm a big guy, but I have good athleticism for my size. Just be able to get out in space and put dudes in the dirt. I'll say one of my biggest, like I'm gonna have to improve on when I get to Oregon, would be just the level of competition. Like to be honest with you, like I mean I face good defensive ends, but like just not the level like Lex Malone guy that we just got. He's at modern day going against 5 stars every. Like it's just have to get adjusted to that. I would say is probably my biggest. I want to say worry, but biggest. I know I'm gonna have to adjust to that.
Right, right. Well, you're always going to have something, right, coming in. So it's good that you know what you kind of want to work on and what you want to go into. So when obviously Oregon first started recruiting you, what stood out to you? One, about Oregon right away, and two, how did it feel to get that attention, and have Oregon reach out to you?
Yeah, for sure. Something that stood out was like how they all were so organized with Coach Tyler Dean, Kobe Saya, Coach Terry, Coach Wagner, those guys. How it set up. Like I kind of talked to the Coach Dean first, and he's like, "Hey, Coach Walt's gonna call you." Then Coach Terry, like how cut it was, and they were like, "Yeah, this is how it goes, and this is how we're gonna run it." And it just felt amazing. I was like, "Oh shoot, this is Oregon." Like I had big off by then, but like Oregon was a school that I always was like, that'd be cool to get recruited by them. Like a few schools that haven't offered me at that time.
Right. Well, and you were not shy of D1 offers. I mean, your list is pretty extensive. You have a lot of the dream schools, I think, for most. But what
Yes, sir.
specific moment during the recruiting process was it like Oregon's the right fit? This is the school I want to go to. Like, when was that moment for you in the recruiting process?
Yeah. I would say it was at the end of like everybody's spring ball visits this year. Like I went to I think 7 or 6 different places, and it was just kind of I got done. Like I had my top few in my mind, but I was just like I just can't stop thinking about Oregon. Every time I saw something cool about football, I would think about Avery Michael and be like, oh, that'd be cool to go live with Avery, go out and play in Eugene, or like anytime I like even on my social media, like I follow everybody like all the schools and things like that. But everything I saw, like Oregon was just the best at everything. I just couldn't get my mind. I was like. I have no reason not to go to Oregon. I just love it out there. I love it out in Eugene, and I love Avery Michael, the commit. And obviously now it's me, Gus, and Lex too, just the guys, and that was a big part of it as well.
Right. Well, shout out the Oregon media department, and shout out to all of our other commits and future commits. I mean, we're still not fully done, so who knows who else we're going to get here in the upcoming weeks. Um, I wanted to kind of take a step back
Yep.
now and look at your first actual, like when you first sat down and made the commitment. Who were the first people you kind of told? And what was that conversation kind of like? Was it your family, friends? Like what would that look like?
Yeah, so the first people I told was my family. I was actually on the way home from getting my tux for prom. I was in the car. It was dead silent, and I was just like, I've been thinking about IOC for a long time, and I was just like, I am going to Oregon. My mom just turned around, she's like, what? I was like, I think, and this was like, I had my visit scheduled with Coach Terry, Coach Walker coming to my house the next week, and I was like, I think when they're here next Wednesday, I think I'm going to commit. And they were like, if you want to do it, do it. If that's where you think is best for you, go ahead. So it kind of worked out from there. We got stuff planned out. And then next Wednesday when they came, after just a little bit of hanging out, I talked to him and I was like, I'm going to join the law firm. They obviously went crazy on the field, things like that. So it was a special moment.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously we're excited to have you. And this next question, I know that you're going to be kind of busy because, you're going to be playing football next year, but do you have a plan or do you have any
Yeah.
plan to come back out this season for a home game or go to an away game? Do you have any plans to kind of try to catch a game at all?
I'm going to go to as many as possible, honestly. I think being some of the other commits are talking about, like, we're all going to try and be there for the week one Boise game.
Nice.
But then after that, I think it's just kind of what I can make it out to. And then, like, I know they play at Illinois this year. I'll probably go to that one because University of Illinois is 15 minutes away from where I live. So I'll go to that and then just really as many as possible, honestly.
Nice. Well, hopefully I'll get to see you there at one of them. Duck fans love hearing about recruiting and visits. So what's your favorite memory from your time in Eugene?
Yeah, I would say one of my favorite memories would probably be about my little brother and Coach George Moore now. So Coach George Moore, who was it, Luke? It was some player that Coach Moore played with, and he said with him on the Cowboys, and he was like, if you can give me 5 facts about this guy that I don't know tomorrow, I'll give you a whole pack of Oreos. My brother that's like his favorite food in the world. And Luke studied all night the next night for our visit the next day to Tomblet, get a free pack of Oreos, and then he went in there, told him right away, and then he came back later with 2 packs of Oreos. So that was cool in itself, and Luke was eating those throughout the day. But then we're in a group chat with me and all the coaches on the Oregon staff and my parents. And like at midnight that night, Coach Lanning just sends this picture of himself eating Oreos. It was hilarious. That's probably one of my more funny recruiting stories I got from Oregon.
That's pretty good. That might take the cake, honestly. A Dan Lanning Oreo photo. That might take the cake there. This offensive line group at Oregon remains to be arguably the best in the country. I'm biased. I'm going to say the best in the country, but I have to say that. I'm not paid. But for you getting to come in
Best in the country.
Yes, best in the country. You coming in though to a high caliber, not only coaching staff, but a high caliber offensive line. How does that feel for you? How do you feel like that's going to transform your game just in general, especially when you get to college?
I mean, it's awesome. I just to be around dudes that want to be the best all the time, and it's just going to push me and other commits in 27 class to be the best as possible. And I firmly believe we're going to win a Joe Moore Big Ten and Natty at some point.
I like it. I like the way that sounds. And you said a little bit about how, you've been in a lot of group chats with your fellow teammates. You talked a little bit about Gus. What relationships have you kind of already built with current Oregon players, with other recruits? Like, who are your main guys currently on the team, and who have you kind of built connections with?
Yeah, I mean, I have connections all over the place, but I would say some of my biggest ones would be Tommy Tofi and Manny Inacho, those guys, and then Kaloy, all those 26 linemen, and then also our 27 lineman group where I feel like we're pretty tight. Like last night, we were just randomly like on a FaceTime call, just messing around with each other. Like we were just like, hey, group law firm call tonight, whatever time, and then like me, Lex, Avery, and Gus all hopped on there. We messed around, talked crap for each other about each other for an hour and a half and went to sleep. Like you're just messing around. Like it's nice that I just fit in so well with those guys, and I can feel like I talk about him, and like I feel like we're all bet. I've never met Lex, and me and him were talking trash back and forth like, about each other for 15 years. So it's super cool how tight we all are.
Well, it's good that you guys already have that connection. That really builds such a strong team dynamic, especially going into the season. So that's awesome to hear. This next question is a reoccurring
Absolutely.
question that I've done, what, 4 years now? That's making me makes me feel old. But 4 years on this show, I have asked this question. So I got to know for you, do you have any fun hobbies outside of football that might surprise Duck fans? I've heard everything from being a barber to a sneakerhead to swimming, being a swim instructor. I don't know. It's up to you. What do you got? What's your fun hobby outside of football, though?
I'll say I'm really good at backflips, like backflipping off of stuff, or like on trampolines, like cliff diving as well. Like I'm in Hawaii right now, obviously, and we're going cliff diving. I think tomorrow, and like I do a backflip off like a 40-foot cliff. So like that's probably one weird thing that I'm good at and I like doing.
Well, you're coming to the perfect place because the amount of jumping spots that you have in Oregon, I mean, it's probably more than you'll be able to hit in your 4 years here. So there's a lot. You have a lot of options.
Oh
So,
yeah,
yep. Um, Before we wrap
and
up, I
just letting
got
you know, my phone's at 1%. So
it's okay. We'll try to
if
get
I
through
cut out,
these.
my phone's at 1. That's why.
Okay, we'll try to get through these last two. Actually, you know what? I won't even ask you
Yep.
your goals question. I'll just ask the last question. To wrap things up, what's your message to Oregon fans and the Ducks Focus audience as you prepare for the next chapter in your career?
I would say just be ready for the most physical offensive line you guys ever seen. Us in the 27 class, we're coming for it all. Big Ten, Joe Moore, Natty. That's all I got.
Well, you heard it here first, folks, from Mr. Cameron himself before his phone dies because it's at 1%. Thank you, Cameron, for coming on. Shout out your social medias real quick before we get out of here because they got to hear it.
I don't even know my handle, honestly. Just look up Cameron.
Yeah, he's lagging out, but it's okay. He said it's Cameron Wagner. He'll be added on all the posts, so you guys will be able to find him. Thank you, Cameron, for coming on. Bless you. Have a blessed day. Enjoy your vacation in Hawaii. And this episode will be out soon.